Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue to read the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. Struggling with his wound, Eurypylus answered, "No hope, Patroclus, prince. No bulwark left. They'll all be hurled back to the black ships. All of them, all of best in the old campaigns, are laid up in the halls. They are hit by arrows, pierced by spears, brought down by Trojan hands, while the Trojans' power keeps on rising. Save me at least. Take me back to my black ship. Cut this shaft from my thigh, and the dark blood wash it out of the wound with clear warm water, and spread the soothing, healing salves across it, the powerful drugs they say you learned from Achilles and Charon, and the most human of centaurs taught your friend. And as for our own healers, Pedilarius and Mycons, one is back in the shelters. Wounded, I think. Mycons needs a good, strong healer himself. He is racked with pain, the other still afield, standing up to the Trojans' slashing onslaught. The brave son of Menelaus answered quickly, "Impossible. Eurypylus, hero, what shall we do? I am on my way with a message for Achilles, our great man of war. The plan that Nestor, Achilles' watch and ward, urged me to report, but I won't neglect you, even so, with such a wound." And bracing the captain, arm around his waist, he helped him toward his shelter. An aide saw them and put some oxide down. Patroclus stretched him out, knelt with a knife and cut the sharp, stabbing arrow out of Eurypylus' thigh and washed the wound clean of the dark running blood with clear warm water, pounding it in his palm. He crushed a bitter root and covered over the gash to kill his comrade's pain, a cure that fought off every kind of pain, and the wound dried and the falling blood stopped. Book 12. The Trojans stormed the rampart. And so under shelter now Menelaus, fighting son, was healing Eurypylus' wounds, but hordes of men fought on, the Achaeans and Trojan infantry going hand to hand. The Argive trench couldn't hold out much longer, nor could the rampart rearing overhead. The wide wall they raised to defend the ships and the broad trench they drove around it all. They never gave the gods the splendid sacrifice the immortal craved, that the fortress might protect the fast ships and the bulking plunder heaped behind its shield. Defying the deathless gods, they built that wall, and so it stood there, steadfast, no long time, while Hector still lived. Achilles reached down, and the warlord Priam's citadel went unstormed. So long the Achaeans' rampart stood erect. But once the best of the Trojan captains fell, and many Achaeans died as well, while some survived, the Priam's high walls were stormed in the 10th year, and the Argives set sail for the native land they loved. Then at last Poseidon, the Lord Apollo, launched their plan to smash the rampart, flinging into it all the river's fury, all that flow from the crest of Ida down to breaking surf. The Roses and Heptoporus, Chryses and Rhodius, Granicus and Aesopus, and the shining god Scamander and Simois tides, where tons of oxide shields and horned helmets tumbled deep in the river, sailed, and a race of men who seemed half god, half mortal. The channels of all those rivers, Apollo swung them round into one mouth, and 9 days hurled their flood against the wall, and Zeus came raining down. Cloud burst, powering cloud burst, the faster to wash the rampart out to open sea. The earth shook himself, trident locked in his grip. Let the day, rocking loose, sweeping up in his breakers all the bastions of strong supports of logs and stones. The Achilles prized the praise with grueling labor. He made all smooth along the rip of the Hellespont and piled the endless beaches deep in and again. And once he had leveled the Argives' mighty wall, he burned the rivers. He turned the rivers flowing back in their bed again, where their fresh, clear tides had run since time began. So in the years to come, Poseidon and god Apollo would set all things to rights once more. But now the wall, the defending crash of battle blazed around the strong-built work, and the rampart timbers thundered under the heavy blows as Argive fighters, beaten down by the lash of Zeus, were rolled back, pinned to their beaked ships in dread of Hector, that invincible, headlong terror. On he fought like a whirlwind, staunch as always. Think of the hounds and the huntsmen circling around some lion or boar when the quarrel wheels at bay. Rippling in strength as the man massed like a bastion, standing up to his charge and hurl their pelting appears, and the bow's brave spirit never flinches, never bows, and his own raw courage kills him. Time and again he wheels around, testing the huntsman's ranks, and where he lunges out, the ranks of men give way. So Hector launched into battle, rallying cohorts now, spurring them on to cross the gaping trench. But his own rearing stallion lacked the nerve. They balked, whining thrill at the edge, the brink, a dead stop. Frightened off by the trench so broad, the team could never leap it, not at a single bound, nor could they plunge on through with any case. Steep banks overhung its whole length, jutting up on either side and topped by stabbing rows of stakes, planted there by the Argive, thick-set and huge, to block the enemy's onslaught. No light work for the teams that trundled chariots, churning massive wheels to make it through in stride, but the Trojans strained to bring it off on foot. So Pelademus stood by the headstrong Hector, warning, Hector and all our Trojan captains, allies in arms, it's madness to drive out teams across that trench, impossible to traverse it. I'm going to stop here today and continue next time. Thank you for watching.